That's such a good sound. I like that sound. It's one of my favorites.
Can't get that with a match.
No, you cannot.
Just saying.
Although I did find some matches that I really, really do like. Okay. We are live on TikTok. We are live on Twitch. Oops.
And we are live on your ears being tangled up.
Yeah. I forgot what our name was on the TikTok. It's called Two Dads Talking About Life. I need to fix that. It's a little bit more than that now. That's when we first started.
I mean, everything we talk about affects life.
That's true. That's true. That is very true. Our good friend, Mr. Stevens, has gotten really good at TikTok Live. Have you?
Yeah, I've seen his stuff, and I use his stuff. Benjamin caught a couple good ones.
I saw that. I saw that.
We've only been out a couple times since we started using his rigs, but now that it's cooling down a little bit,
yeah,
we'll go out a little more. But yeah, he's also gets you set up on a pole. So I need to take the boys over there and get them new poles. But
yeah,
Benjamin got a monster and snapped our line, but we saw him come up and then go back down, and that was the last time we saw him on one of those rigs. Snapped our line, not his line on the rig.
Okay. I was about to say. Uh-oh. What is that? I guess we got to mute this. Oh wait, no, that was my Twitch. Sorry. But we went fishing this afternoon. Yeah, we went. Took my son out to a guy that we know. He has a pond, and just did a little pond fishing. I'm not much on lake fishing unless I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
Or if you have a really nice dock setup, I can go for that.
So we fish a lot at our slip where the boat is.
Ah, okay.
We have not fished on the boat yet. It's not a fishing boat. And I say that to some people, it doesn't make sense. It's a ski boat. It's a big, deep V. So if you're sitting on the side of the boat and you reach over the side, you can't touch the water. You're pretty high up out. So it's not great for fishing. Now it's got a swim deck on the back, so we can sit on the back of the boat and fish.
Okay.
We got a swim deck that's basically water level.
Nice.
So we can go anchor out towards where the bridges are. Because again, it's 40 to 44 inches in the water, so I don't want to get up in the trees with it, but like you can with a fishing boat. But we can go anchor and cast up underneath the bridge, stuff like that. So
more of it, definitely catfishing.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, I mean, you could stand on that swim deck back there and treat it kind of like a deck boat.
You have a cutter?
I do. Just a basic.
That's fine. I don't know where mine went. But we went to our friend's pond and caught a 2.5 pound crappie. I definitely didn't expect it. I was more helping him than I was fishing, but
yeah,
oh my goodness. Oh. That's a blooper. That didn't. Oh well. It worked. It cut it. But anyways, it was 2.5 pounds, and this crappie was massive. And it's just in a little pond.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect, you expect a little perch, maybe a 1 or 2 pound bass. But definitely not the size crappie that we caught. That's for sure. That is for sure.
That's a good time.
Yeah, and I'm assuming it's a stocked pond. And so he got a couple bites, but not takers.
Yeah.
So when it cools off, we'll go again.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ponds in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's kind of the gist of the neighborhood. And they're all stocked. So Benjamin was just fishing yesterday, matter of fact, and hooked himself good. Like got it in there and it curved and came back out. So not just sometimes you just get the barb stuck, but this time it went in, hooked around, and the barb came back out the other side. So
that sounds painful.
Got that cleaned up.
Sounds very painful.
But yeah, he loves fishing around here. And like I say, we fish at the slip. The cool thing about fishing at the slip is they have a handful of fish cleaning stations set up.
Okay. Makes it easy.
So they've got basically a slip space where they've got the sinks and the boards and everything. Super easy. Versus any clean them all, throw in your bag and bring them home when you're done.
Yeah.
You're not bringing all that home and whatnot. So.
Yeah, I don't like doing that crap. I'm just going to throw it back most of the time.
Yeah.
90% of the time, it's just going right back in the lake or the pond or wherever we are. I've done it a couple times where we've cleaned fish and stuff, but it is not fun. That is not fun at all.
Catfish are easy.
Yeah. Bass are not.
Yeah.
Bass and crappie are not. Okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that with the TikTok. It's got too much stuff going on. My ADD is way out of whack if we were to have that. It's flashing at me the whole time.
That's what it's designed for, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Try to get your attention?
Yeah, I can't do that. Like, it's easy if it's just a chat, but when there's 15,000 other things going on there, I can't do that.
Yep.
So maybe we'll just experiment later on that.
But we are getting some cooler weather, though. Starting to kind of a little bit.
Not in my house.
Not as much as you want.
No.
But,
well, our air conditioner went out.
well, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, so we have two little window units that are small, trying to help us out, but the blower went out. I don't know what any of that means, if I'm being honest, but the blower went out, and they came out on Friday. Like, it went out Friday morning, called Friday. They came out. Obviously, it takes some time to get that part in, I guess. And we keep our house cool. I mean, probably like 68.
I was going to say.
Which is pretty cool. So it's like 74 in the house and everybody's dying, which is not, I don't know. We've been to other people's houses and I'm like, what do you keep your house at? And they're like 74. And I'm like, our house feels hot.
That's one for us. Now, if it's dead of summer and I'm trying to give my AC a break when we're all gone during the day, I will let it kick up to like 74, 75. I don't go way up.
Yeah.
And then a couple hours before people come home, start bringing it back down. But we mainly sit at 73, 72. Oh. But I feel like it's different. Like, to me, like, I don't like being hot at all. I do not like that. But for some reason, I feel like 73 or 72 in this house is like 68 or 69 in somebody else's because it feels chilly.
Yeah. I mean, our house is not that old. It's probably, I guess probably about 10, 12 years old. I mean, it has good insulation in it, but it's just a 2-story with really, really high ceilings.
Yeah.
And so if we don't have good airflow, like I have a blower fan in the house and it just blows air. But if I don't have that thing going and we don't have our ceiling fan on, it'll be so hot in there.
Yeah.
Even the heat that rises. And if I don't have, like, we kind of have like a landing that goes over. And so, like, I'll have a fan up there and it just kind of moves air around just to keep it to where it's not so hot. But man, when I left, it was 76 degrees upstairs. Yeah. And like, we have a window unit in our room right now that's kind of helping push air, but man, it'll be hot tonight too.
Yeah, that stinks. We've done that. Our last house, we went out and went for us, and we had a window unit and one of those indoor units.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everybody like, hey, we're not going to air condition the upstairs. Everybody camp out downstairs. We're going to cool this as best we can.
Yeah. Well, if we had, like, if it wasn't a huge vaulted ceiling, I mean, it's a 20-foot. It goes all the way to the top. You can't really just cool one room. Mm-mm. But man, it's bad. But fortunately, like I was telling my wife, there's been a breeze. Mm-hmm. So my son learned how to ride his bike this past couple weeks ago.
There you go.
And so we've been just sitting outside, and there's been a breeze, and it's not terrible, but at least it's not 110.
I just think back. I a few weeks ago watched the Oliver Stone JFK again. That 3-hour and 10-minute movie. It's a great movie. I like the way he tells the story. Great actors in it. And you just see all these people in New Orleans, like no AC, just with the window open and a fan going. And I'm like, I couldn't do that here. And you're in New Orleans. Are you looking for water?
Yes.
It's just in the tray down there. Just open the door, look down. The flat tray. It's empty? Yeah. Oh, never mind. There's some over there on the wine fridge.
Yeah, but here's the thing. My grandparents' house upstairs had very little air, but it was in Wisconsin, and there would be a nice breeze every single night that would come through.
Yep.
And so you could open the windows on one side and on the other, and even in the dead of summer, I mean, it gets 65 degrees in the summertime.
Right.
So it wouldn't be terrible. But my grandfather would almost refuse to turn the air on. But they did have central heat and air. So I can't, like, there were a lot of houses up there that didn't have that.
Right. I just don't know how they did it before AC.
Well, and speaking, because
they're sitting there in suits. You know, all these.
Yeah.
You know, the DA, played by Kevin Costner, sitting there in a suit in his office with just a window up and a fan going. And that's it.
Well, and the other thing is, too, is like, how do you, like, it's so hot. Like, you think about the summertime. I guess maybe it was just, they just had different clothes and it moved. I don't know. Maybe the air moved differently.
Maybe they're just used to it. Because if it gets much more over like 76, 77, I can pour sweat. I'm like, I couldn't work like this.
Okay. So I guess we have a new Twitch commenter.
We've just gotten soft.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true too. Maybe. Or maybe we've just gotten conditioned. The Twitch says they personally think a lot of Americans' problems can be traced back to when Sierra Mist was rebranded.
Is it starry now?
I don't know.
I
it's
think
that
it is.
starry mist.
Yes.
I mean, that's a
think it's
very
starry.
valid point.
That's a good drink.
Speaking of soft drinks, I love a good gas station. Now, we all know that we're Bucky fans on here.
Yeah. In Colorado, you need a Buc-ee's.
But when you go to the local gas station, I really, really like how it's hold on. I got a message that's saying it's glitching, so hold on. It seems to be okay. I don't know. We'll fix it, I guess. I don't know what's happening. But I like when I go to a local gas station and they just have everything that I could need. Okay. And when I'm talking about everything I need, from dinner to, first aid to, the latest Dubai chocolate or the latest TikTok trends. I really like that. And I can eat some solid gas station food.
Buc-ee's out of the question. Okay. Taking Buc-ee's out of it. What is the number one? I know you're a Diet Coke guy, but what is the number one gas station snack, and which gas station do you like it from?
If I'm going to get a snack, so a snack is not cooked food.
Oh, it can be on the...
Okay. 2 Crispitos, 2 Bean Burritos, and a large Diet Coke.
It's a lot.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to eat for lunch.
From what store?
Any of the locals. Like,
if I have a specific...
Don't have a specific one, but it has to also be clean, though. It has to be clean.
I'm a big Roller Grill taquito guy.
Oh, from QT.
They're number 2 on the list.
Oh, okay.
The best Roller Grill taquito, mark my words, is the taco and cheese at 7-Eleven. That is the best Roller Grill taquito in existence. QT, their taco and cheese, that's a really close second. Racetrack, you're not even in the same ballpark.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's like, if you can get you a 7-Eleven, that's a good one. Or find a QT, that's cool. Racetrack, I just keep driving.
The Twitch says that's exactly what, they don't even know what it's called. The Sierra Mist. But I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it's starry now.
I think it's starry now too. But like what you're talking about is more of a corporate gas station. What I'm talking about is like Bob Stop.
Oh, okay.
Your local Exxon or Valero, or where they maybe have some shady characters that work behind the counter.
Listen, everybody needs jobs.
Everybody does need a job, and they show up.
Yep.
So they're constantly there, and they employ local students. So I try to support my local gas stations as much as possible. And they seem to put more syrup in their Diet Coke, so it tastes just a little bit sweeter.
I knew Diet Coke was going to get back around here in a minute.
My wife sent me a shirt today that says Diet Coke's just the cig fridge, like a cigarette from the fridge. I'm going to get one.
Whatever that means, I don't know.
But it looks like you have a new shirt on today.
I do.
Okay, who is that? I don't know who that
Buford
is.
T. Justice.
Oh,
Smokey and the Bandit?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
I was about to say.
I know who that is, but I
Stop
did
the
not watch
pod.
it. I did not watch it.
You've never seen it?
I know who it is. Yes, I have seen it.
Okay.
But it wasn't like something that
I can quote it line by line.
Oh, man. I cannot do
That's a great movie.
I cannot do
Now,
that.
the other ones they made, not as good. They're okay. They're okay. But two of the characters in it are Big Enos and Little Enos. You know, it's the one big dude, one little dude, but they have the same name, right? And so my other friend that shares my name, if we're talking and I like win an argument about something, I'm like, you're little Clint now. And I'm big Clint. But he's like a foot taller than me, so it doesn't work.
He is very tall. But yeah, I do like a good gas station. I can't not stop and go in.
Now we had my birthday party Friday night, and it was a Buc-ee's themed birthday party. Because me and Buc-ee's are both from the same year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we share a birthday.
Speaking of Buc-ee's, went in today to get some ice, and this person in front of me purchased the largest purchase of Buc-ee's items I have ever witnessed.
First timer?
No, I don't think so, because like they were very specific with what they were purchasing. Like they had like 3 things of the sausage links, but like the big ones, like the summer sausage, and then they had the cheese, and then they had the gummies, and their final bill between the two of them. So the person that was in front, they were a couple. One of them was $485.
Oh man, that's big.
The lady was almost $600.
Wow.
She had 9 bags of stuff, and I was like, "That's a bit." Even for me, I love Buc-ee's, but that was a bit much for me.
Yeah, we'll occasionally buy. Not occasionally, pretty often we buy from like the little home section or whatever.
Yeah. We like the candles.
Yeah. But yeah, we had some Buc-ee's decor. We had Buc-ee's flashing LED lights, and I had Buc-ee's themed food. We had those some barbecue sandwiches.
Nice.
But what's becoming my favorite food at Buc-ee's now is their Texas cheesesteak burrito.
Yep.
So I took myself some skirt steak on the Blackstone, sliced it up real fine, laid it in layers in a full pan with some jack cheese and grilled bell peppers and onions in there. I feel like I'm just going to make a big pan of that every week, and I'm just going to eat that all week. That was, I mean, that's really good. And then wrap it up in a tortilla, like it's amazing.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that.
That's good stuff.
I really like their burritos too.
Mm-hmm. And then I had sours. I like the cherry sours. And
okay,
sours. That's my Buc-ee's candy. So
I don't really have a candy. I do like their potato chips, but that's not even anything that's special.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weekend, we're on a long break, and so I got a letter from our HOA because our yard was a little too long, which is a whole nother topic in itself. But anyways, I digress. The reason that our yard was a little bit long is because our mower kicked the bucket.
Mm.
So I was trying to like figure out how I could fix it or whatever. And I'm scouring the internet, and I'm like, I don't know if this is worth it. I literally paid like $85 for it off of Marketplace. So I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the carburetor. I'm pretty sure it's that. So I'm going to try to fix that. So I get online, do the YouTube thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that. So I go down to the local mower place right down from where the Buc-ee's is.
Yeah.
And they were just not very nice to me.
They're not. Especially on an $85 Marketplace mower.
Yeah. And I was like, I need a carburetor for this. And he was like, well, what kind of mower is it? So I told him, he was like, what's the serial number? I'm like, so I showed him that, and he's like, nope, I need the motor one. I'm like, how would I find that? He's like, on the back side of the mower under the undercarriage. Yeah. I'm like, oh Lord. I was like, can you give me a ballpark of like how much this carburetor is going to cost? He was like, oh, it starts at $85. I'm like, that's how much I didn't say this, but like that's literally how much I paid.
It's time for a new mower off Marketplace.
For a mower. So, but then I'm getting on Marketplace, like we have less than 2 weeks of mowing season left. Oh, that was a cool one. We have less than 2 weeks of it. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I get on Amazon, and like all the carburetors, I can't find exactly the one that's going to match. And it's like $30. Okay, well, maybe I'll do that. So I get home, and I'm like, I don't know. I'd already taken the carburetor off. So I just like beat it on the grass and just blow in it.
Yeah.
Compress some air into
Clean
it.
Yeah.
Just really just get it all cleaned out. Got a new air filter at the place. And I'm like, man, I'm just going to put it back together, see if it works. And sure enough, it fired right up. I was like, yes, I'm 41 years old and I finally did something mechanical.
Just a little
and it worked.
Clean.
And it worked.
And it worked.
I've taken stuff apart before, but it has never gone back together in the right spot. And then it worked.
I bought a lawnmower, a push lawnmower that 10 years ago. Sucker still runs, still starts on the first pull.
Yeah, mine is too.
I was thinking about that. I bought these Makita hammer drills like in 2009. Okay. Those suckers are still going. I was like, that's 16 years ago. Is that a commercial for Makita or what? Like I see people throwing their DeWalts in the trash.
What do I have?
But these
gray. I don't even know what it is.
Some people now have just gone to buying the Ryobis and getting new ones every couple 3 years, you know. But I realized the other day I have this Makita hammer drill and a regular drill I bought in a set 16 years ago.
What color is it? Red?
No,
Makita's
it's
red or green?
Green.
Green and black. Okay.
Well, yeah, green and black, and my regular one's white and black. And on the original battery.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Now I had 3 batteries. 2 of them had gone out, but I got one still working. And I'm like, do I want to buy another battery and keep these suckers going?
I mean, why not?
That's why I haven't bought a battery yet. But then I'm like, surely these drills are going to kick the bucket eventually. Like I have built some things. Like I don't. This isn't just. Normal.
I was about to say it's probably from lack of use too. Like it's going to get corroded. But I know you build a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like these things have not just, been hanging pictures on the wall. Like I've built 2 decks. Like we've been driving lag bolts. I mean,
okay.
We've been drilling in brick. Like we've done some things.
I had my first DeWalt or Black and Decker like drill that we got from a wedding thing that you like plugged it into the wall and it plugged into the battery. I had one of those for a long time, but then I was like, no, I'm going to step up. I don't even know what mine is now. I've had a long time.
So I don't know if I'm going to buy another battery and so I'll have more than one or just see how long these things go.
Oh, there it is right there.
Oh, that is it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Putting it on the pod. Or shout out to Makita, who we don't get any money from.
But we are willing to put the drill on the camera every time.
Look at this guy. 2009 model. Still,
let's hear it in the microphone.
This is my battery, look.
Nice.
And this was like when they very first started putting the light on the front of them.
Uh-huh.
Like this is 16 years ago. That's genius.
Yes.
Like
does it stay on?
All of them now do. Well, it'll go off, but like, yes, it's fading out now. But all of them do now. Like I have a DeWalt oscillating saw and a jigsaw, and they all have lights on them, which is great. But I think Makita was the first people to do that. I don't know. We're not a tool podcast, but 16 years is pretty dang good for a hammer drill. What if it has a date on it? It doesn't.
If it did, it's probably worn off by now.
But I got a serial number if the guy needs it.
Okay. Well, hey, he would be able to help you
at the shop. Yeah, because I have the serial number.
But then I went back into service and I was like, how much would it cost if I were to bring this mower in? And he was like, a minimum of $250 to fix it. I'm like, no, not doing that.
No. I haven't gone electric yet though on my mowers. I'm still.
I can't do that.
So I like the sound.
I do too.
It's weird, but I like it.
I like the sound. I like the smell. I feel like the mixture of cut grass and gasoline just puts me in a whole different place.
Yep.
As I was changing, the bowl at the very bottom of the carburetor has a little bit of gas in it. So I twisted it and I knew that was about to happen. So I twisted it and I was going really slow because I didn't want the whole tank to empty. And just about that time, my middle daughter goes out and she's like, I love that smell.
Hey,
hey, me too. But
maybe she'll be a race car driver.
Maybe she would be the one that would do it. So we, with all things going back to a little bit more conservative, in some circles, tattoos are becoming a thing of the devil of certain aspects. And so I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about tattoos. And I was like, because I've over the last couple of years, I've collected a couple, and I know you have a couple. Both of our spouses are way more tatted than us, and
she's up to 44.
44.
Yeah,
and
some of those are sets.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
I don't know how many my wife, she's in the double digits, but not anywhere close to 40.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many she has, but hers are big.
Yeah.
Hers are big. And, but I was having this conversation, and, my tattoos are very meaningful. Like, I don't just have a tattoo to have a tattoo. Like, I don't have a horn's head because I'm from Texas or whatever, or whatever. And if that's what you do, that's cool too. That's on you. But like, all of mine tell a story. So like, each one of mine has a story. And so I'm telling this person about that, and they're like, well, I guess I never looked at it like from that perspective. I'm like, if you really look at a person who has tattoos, like most of the time they're not going to make any sense to you. So like, if I were to show you mine, like you would have no idea. And like, I'll try to put it in my camera. It's upside down, but like those are very meaningful to me. Like mine are very meaningful to me. Mm-hmm. And so like, also I try to have, like, I'm really been itching to get another one, but I can't really figure out what I want to get. Like I can't, because it has to have some sort of a meaning to me, or I'll just end up hating it.
Right.
So here's a question for you. Would you get a matching tattoo of the Cigar Politico on our forearm?
No.
Oh, man. I think that's what I'm going to get next.
Oh, really?
If we can make it to 65, I think that's been my...
65? It's got to be, make it to 100.
100? But that's a whole year, another year away.
Yeah, kind of. We'll be there to start season 3.
Okay.
65 is an odd number. I'm just saying, like...
I was like 50, maybe.
Maybe 75. Well, 50 is like in 7 episodes.
I know, but that's not a full year either, technically. Even though it probably will be, because we missed a couple weeks. But
yeah,
I was thinking maybe like what we could do is the lady that does my tattoos, we could do it live. We could record the podcast while she's giving us a tattoo.
Yeah.
Are you out on that?
Love the idea.
So what you're telling me is I have 67 more episodes to convince you.
I'm not a huge fan.
Not a huge fan of tattoos?
57 to get to 100.
Oh, 57. Yeah, 57.
And I have 3. I have my biggest one is right here, and it's my wife's nickname, but then I have a couple small badges. She has some big ones, and then she has a lot of badges. But like you say, all of hers mean something.
Right.
And she orders them in a certain area. Like she has Native American heritage, and so like she has an entire arm that's Native American. She has a beautiful Indian woman that was like hand drawn by her artist. She's got
that sounds complex.
Got a raven on there, like it's, and a dream catcher and like these things. So she's got that arm, and then like everything kind of ties together and works.
Nice.
It's not random, but of course I don't mind tattoos. My wife's covered, but I haven't seen that. In fact, we were joking. My wife's teaches, right? And she's a department head for history. And one of her new teachers came in to interview. This is his first year, and he's, of course, long sleeving it up and everything, because he doesn't know how it goes.
Yeah,
right?
I get it.
And here's the thing, like, if you do get a job, you're not being like deceitful. If you get a job and they're like, no, we don't like tattoos, and like, hey, I'm wearing long sleeves every day. That's just the way it is. So,
I did that for forever.
So you can do that under a t-shirt, things like that. So whatever you want to do. But then, obviously my wife's in there in the interview as department head, and he sees hers, like, I guess she probably had on short sleeves or something that day, and he could see, he's like, okay, so we're good.
Yeah, my wife's favorite, her favorite one that she has is on her shoulder. It's a giant sunflower. That's my favorite one that she has. And she has some other ones that are meaningful too. Like she has a heart that has my handwriting on it. So I like that one too.
Well, Hickseth was talking about, no more beards whenever he addressed
I saw that.
the military. But it can't say no tattoos because he's
covered.
Yeah, enough.
He's covered. Have you been to any Friday night football games?
Yeah.
So
we've been to all the home games.
Okay, but you didn't go to the latest one?
No, because it was the away game.
Oh, that's right. It was in Forney.
Yeah.
So we I had an experience at one of our games a couple of weeks ago, and I it goes back to what you talked about a couple of weeks ago about being an Uncle Rico. That might have been 41.
Yeah, about that.
And so like I can't really get to the game all the time, right? Because we play volleyball on Friday nights. And so like a lot of times I'll just watch the stream, okay? So my son is sitting in the back of the car watching the stream, and I can just hear the parents yelling from the stands at the team, at the coaches, at the team. We've had 2 rough weeks in a row for our school, but like it just flabbergasts me how these parents act. And I'm just like, what kind of an example are you setting for your children, for like the representation in your community, for like your kid that's out on the field?
Yeah.
Who, in some cases, we've talked about this before, but like, especially in season, I'm going to see my athletes more than their parents are going to see them sometimes, depending on what part of the year it is. But those football guys, they see those kids all day, every day, Monday through Friday, and then sometimes on Saturday. It just blows my mind. And you know, there's a lot that can be said about coaches, and both positive and negative. So don't get me wrong. I'm not naive to that fact that some coaches don't know what they're doing. That's a fact. But the problem is anytime that I've been around a coaching staff, I've never been around one where I just thought, you know what, they're really not working that hard. I've never thought that. Not one time. Now, they may not have talent, they may not have the skill, but they're definitely putting in the work.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard because it's like, man, you guys have no idea.
I think it's just pure selfishness. Like, talking like that may be fine in your house, but you don't have to bring it out in public. You know, it's like, but there's this idea of, well, I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
I'm a taxpayer.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want. You know, this is fine by me. If you don't like it, you can leave. Like, no, you're in a public place. There's little kids around. Some people don't like little kids hearing that. You may be okay with it. That's your prerogative, whatever. But there's a thing to acting a certain way when you're in public. And I don't think people just like being told what to do anymore.
100%. And like
I think that changed with COVID.
Like our district,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, our district got real heavy-handed in a good way of like, hey, if you're going to act a fool, you got to go.
Yeah.
Like you can watch online, you can still see your kid, or if your kid is playing, or if you're just a fan, then you're just not welcome tonight.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've ever suspended anybody long term, not to my knowledge, but it's like, come on, like why are you acting that way?
Oh, there's a thing, man. Like,
it's just a game.
It's just a game. Plus, there's a way to act in public.
Well, and they're not professionals.
No.
You know what I mean? Speaking of professionals, did you watch the game today?
I did. I watched all the first half. The second half, I was putting up a new TV, so I was like, I didn't get it turned on until about 7 or 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I missed most of the third. But we did what we should do for a really bad team that's 0-5 and has not had a turnover, which is the first time that's ever happened in NFL history.
5 games without a turnover?
Well, they've started the season 0-5 and don't have a single turnover.
Oh, Lord. They haven't taken a turnover. Is that what you're saying? That's it.
The
Yeah.
Jets. Yeah. Jets, Jets.
And
so they're a bad team and we beat a bad team. Okay. But again, like I can't fault, like Dak looks good even against a bad team.
He does. And he had a fully backup line today.
I'm going to say this, like we're 5 games into the season.
2-2-1.
2-2-1.
Did the Giants end up winning today? I didn't catch it. I don't know. Hold on, I'll look. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
I think however this season goes, we've talked a lot about what we want it to do and what's going to happen. I don't think you're going to be able to look back and blame Dak.
No.
And I know everybody wants to because he's the quarterback. He's got to do it. He's got to lead the team. And like, man, you can't when you got nothing. But, Pickens has stepped up.
Yes.
Caught a touchdown today.
And the second year receiver, what's his name? I picked him up today in fantasy, by the way. Ryan Flournoy.
Yeah, he had some long catches.
So we'll see. I'm not too excited, but I'm not too down.
Yeah.
I hate, and we didn't record last week for various reasons, but like I hate the tie.
I know. Here's what they should do. I like the improvement. First of all, hands down, college does it best. Put them on the 25 and just keep going until you win. I like that the best. But even in the NFL, like they should play that 10-minute overtime period, whatever they want to call it. Each team has to have one opportunity to possess the ball, like that rule. If that 10 minutes ends in a tie, then start again. It's another 10-minute period, 2 timeouts for each team, but next score wins.
Okay.
So if you don't finish it off, okay, both teams possess the ball, both teams score, they match each other, like what happened with the Cowboys then and Packers, then start another period, next score wins, and the coin toss is reversed. So when you go into that coin toss, you always now you want to defer because you want to know what you have to have.
Right.
So if you do that, and say it happens just like it did, where one Cowboys drive, one Packers drive, that's all we had time for. Say you do that, well, then it gets reversed. Packers get the ball first. So they get a double advantage.
Okay, yeah.
You know. Or you can do a coin toss again. I don't know. They can work it all out. But I think making that one simple change doesn't elongate the game to where you're in your 4th overtime, your 5th overtime, like you see sometimes in some of these college games. But like, okay, we're going to play this period. If we're still tied at the end of it, next score wins.
You could also go the shootout way, where if at the 10 minutes, you line up the field goal team, and each guy just keeps kicking and like you back up 5-10 yards every time.
So you start Aubrey on the other side, 25 or something.
Yeah. So you start at the 25, and
that's
if
a
their
problem.
kicker makes
that's
it,
a problem
then,
for the Cowboys though, because he doesn't make them close up. You see, he missed the PAT today.
But that was a 45-yard field goal PAT because there was a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was listening on the radio at that point, and Brad Sham jinxed it. He jinxed it.
I hate when they do that.
I do too. He's like, and he's been perfect, 9 for 9, and then bam, you can hear it hit the ball.
Can you just all sports announcers everywhere, if you're listening,
don't jinx it.
Give the stat after he makes it.
Right.
Be like, and that was his 10th one in a row. Like, then say that. don't say the stat before he kicks.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, talk about what you're gonna have for lunch. Talk about anything but that.
Well, and then like the perfect game, that happens a lot too.
Yeah.
So I was asking what the NFC standings are. Eagles are 4-1, Commanders are 3-2, Cowboys are 3-2, and Giants are 1-4.
It shows us as 3-2 instead.
Sorry, 2-2. Sorry.
Yeah.
2-2. So because you're at 5, technically at 500.
Yeah.
But yeah,
which is I saw somebody this week saying that's the most Cowboys thing ever, because now that they have 17 games in the season, we can't go 8-8 anymore. So we fixed it where you go 8-8-1.
Or I hadn't thought about that.
Or make it even more fun, 7-7-3. That would be the most Cowboys thing ever.
You tie 3 games.
Yes.
Oh, that would definitely be the most Cowboy thing ever. But I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with the amount of injuries that we've had and the amount of backups.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when CD's back. I think it's next week, isn't it, or the week after? I think it's next week.
Yeah, we got Carolina next week. That's what I was listening to on the radio.
Yeah, so
which is a winnable game too. They're 2-2 because it's like again, we just got, or excuse me, they're 2-3. We just got to get into the playoffs and.
But now, like,
we'll
and this could totally be my Cowboy fan, but like seeing the game against Green Bay, seeing the fight against the Eagles, I did not like having to go to overtime to beat Russell Wilson and the New York Giants.
Yeah.
But seeing the Eagles game, seeing the Green Bay game ending in a tie that you were definitely supposed to lose, then it's like, okay, if you beat these beatable teams like the Jets, like the Panthers, and then you go in and maybe you beat Washington, beat the Eagles when they come here, you know,
you're right there.
Then it's like, okay, like Jerry always says, you just got to get in. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not as emotionally invested as I would normally be.
I will say there's a lot of things different this year than what I have seen in the past.
Yeah.
So like with the run game is much better. I mean, they said today on the broadcast that 70-yard run we haven't had one of those since Alfred Morris.
Wow. So Zeke never got one?
Zeke never got one.
Whoa.
2016 or 17, something like that.
He got close. I mean, I've seen him rip some off in the early days.
Yeah. But I mean, that might have been before that though. You see what I'm saying? Like 2017, 16, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And the Rangers have a new skipper.
Yeah. What do you think?
I like the hire. I think I like it when they do internal hires. Skip Shoemaker was hired 2 years ago as a special assistant to the general manager, and he won skipper of the year, manager of the year a couple years ago for the Marlins. So there's that experience there, but also then now he already knows the guys. You're not having to go through this new like learning curve.
It's kind of like with Shoddy.
Kind of like with Shoddy.
Yeah. Does it bother you like it bothers me that he was on the Cards team that beat us in the World Series in 2011?
No. I didn't even know that until you told me that. But my initial reaction is no.
My sports hate runs deep for teams that we lost championships to.
Fair.
Especially that one.
Yeah. But we're not going to talk about
Almost ended it in 6, man.
Almost. If we hadn't had Nelson Cruz.
I guess it doesn't bother me as much because we didn't lose that game because of Schumacher.
Yeah.
So.
No, we lost that game because of us.
Yes.
We lost that game because of us.
I got over my sports hate when Bochy came to be the manager.
Yeah, because the Giants beat us. 2011.
So what am I thinking about? Well, that's kind of a trend. So your last 2 managers have been on teams that beat you.
I was going to say that, but I didn't know if you were going to go there.
That beat you in the World Series.
Yeah.
2010, 2011.
I like the hire. I like the direction that the Rangers are going. Those young guys stepped up.
Talking about a Texas team that has championships of recent memory.
There you go.
Whoa.
That is not the Cowboys.
I know. We got to go back to middle school to get to the Cowboys. I was a grown adult whenever the Rangers were in it 3 times and won it once.
And the Mavericks too. Don't forget about the Mavericks and the Stars. Don't forget about the Stars.
But also the Stars got one when I was in high school.
98?
Yeah, 99, I think.
99. But the Mavericks did start. I know you hate Mavs talk, but we're going to do 30 seconds on it. They started a training camp this week.
Have they only been in the finals? So they won it in 2011, and then they against the Celtics. So they've been the only 2 times they've been in the actual finals.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They won it, and then they 2011.
Yeah, right.
Is when they won it.
And then year before last was the Celtics.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that would have been the third time in the finals, because Dirk's first year against they beat the Heat. And then they lost when Avery Johnson was the coach.
Yeah,
who they lose
that's
to?
right.
Was it the Heat too? No, it wasn't the Heat. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they started, and I'm excited. I like Cooper Flag. I like everything that the team is doing so far. All the changes that they've made.
Preseason has started?
That is training camp.
Training camp. Okay.
Preseason October 6th, so like maybe tomorrow. This week. The season they play games this week.
Real games or preseason games?
Preseason games.
Okay.
Real games start 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
Around Halloween is when they start. I can't ever remember like the start date, but I do know they're playing in Mexico City and or Brazil.
Okay.
Can't remember. But yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. We'll see. But again, just like with the Rangers, you have to search where they're going to be playing.
Yeah.
And I don't like that particularly, but it is what it is. This is kind of more before we hop politics. Do you have any hard opinions about Bad Bunny?
I don't.
Because you went and saw him, right?
No.
He was not one of the people that you were that was playing when who was it the Weekend?
No.
I thought Bad Bunny was there too.
I don't like his music. I think it's like
didn't even know who he was.
I understand when people say Kendrick Lamar was too niche for a Super Bowl. I understand what they're saying. I don't agree with them. I think he's popular enough. I think Kendrick Lamar was popular enough to headline a Super Bowl and have the whole performance to himself.
Agreed.
A lot of people will disagree with that, but I think he was. And maybe that's just the people I know that I'm exposed to. I know 2 people who are huge Kendrick Lamar fans.
I was not a Kendrick Lamar fan until I saw that, by the way.
Yeah. Work with one and have a neighbor as one. So, and I've been following him for a long time. So, but I think Bad Bunny is too niche for Super Bowl. I mean, when you look at like who has performed, like try to think of somebody who's that far down the list. And I'm just saying, if you just take America and just poll all the way across from California to Maine, I'm trying to think. Like everybody who's performed have been household names. I can't think of a time when it wasn't a household name.
Okay, are you ready? Here's the last 10. Kendrick Lamar, Usher,
Yeah,
which was a slew of people, Jermaine Dupri, Alicia Keys, will.i.am, Little John, Ludacris. Then 2023 was Rihanna. 22 was Dr. Dre, Snoop, and Eminem.
Yeah.
21, that was a good one.
That's in my top 5.
21 was The Weeknd. 2020, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, that was
featuring Bad Bunny.
okay.
And then 2019, Maroon 5.
Yeah.
2018 was Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids. And then 2017 was Lady Gaga. 2016 was Coldplay with Beyonce and Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
I just don't think he has, and this may us being old men here, I don't think he has the power of those last 10.
No.
Like, you could bring out any of those 10 right now and everybody would be okay with that.
Right.
Anybody in that list.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't necessarily like, to me, the Super Bowl halftime is not what it used to be, but if you're going to continue to bring it back, you have to bring more of a wide spread. Does that make sense? Like, I know that's what you're saying is like it's a niche person. And so like if you're trying to bring back all the viewership that they're looking for, then you need to bring in someone that's a bigger reach.
Yeah. Best of all time is Prince in Miami.
Yes, In the Rain.
In the Rain. Worst of all time, Black Eyed Peas. That was a horrible show.
I don't disagree with that take. I know this is a podcast where we talk, and we should definitely disagree at some point, but Katy Perry was not a good performance, but it was a cool spectacle.
I liked Katy Perry. She's not in my top 5 or anything, but I liked it. Like I said, the riding in on the huge lion, the left shark.
Yeah.
that was funny.
Cool though.
Yeah, it was just funny.
The Twitch says they don't know him outside of SNL, and they don't understand why SNL keeps bringing him back. I don't either.
I wonder if him being in Happy Gilmore had anything to do with it. Like, brings him a little more to the forefront. But I think there's a lot of people who saw him in Happy Gilmore and had no idea this is Bad Bunny and he's a Puerto Rican artist, right? Like,
I did not know. Like, I didn't know. Like, I was like, oh, I think I've seen.
Or
that
when you're
person
seeing
before.
the credits roll at the end, you're like, you see Bad Bunny come up, you're like, yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yep, that's kind of us. That's kind of me too. I don't have a hard take on it. It's just like
no, and I don't.
Okay, we'll see.
I am the type where, like, we have people over for the Super Bowl every year, have it on, and I'll just tell them, I'm like, you can come over to the Super Bowl, but this is not a get up and talk and be loud during the halftime show. I'm a halftime show watcher, I'm a musician. I like music. And on this one, I will be, of course, watching, but I don't expect it to be in my top 5 or 10.
I expect to be entertained at least.
Here's how he can save it. And we're already talking about him saving it before he's ever done it. And that even if it needs to be saved or not. If he brings on 3, 4, or 5 other artists to perform with him, then I think that probably brings it to more people who are going to be watching the Super Bowl.
So he was on with Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, J Balvin, and Emmy Munez. I don't know who any of those people.
I remember he was in that show now that you say it.
I don't remember him being there, but that was also 2020. That was a long time ago. So it doesn't stand out to me as good or bad.
That was not a good Super Bowl halftime show, though, with J-Lo and Shakira.
No. Yeah. So in other sports news, this is more of a current events thing. I do have a hard take on this. Did you happen to see the WNBA's stance on Caitlin Clark this week?
Their stance on her? No.
Yeah. So they came out and basically the commissioner said that Caitlin Clark needs the WNBA more than WNBA needs her. Ma'am, you are totally wrong.
Like,
and you should be fired. They were asking her about, do you think that Caitlin Clark not playing is affecting the ratings because she's hurt?
Oh.
And
see, I didn't know what the premise was.
Yeah. She just kind of went off and like, so there. I've stood on this hill, and several people that I speak to that have that are very into the basketball world. I still think she should have taken Ice Cube's money and gone and played in the Big Three. Like he offered her $10 million a season to go play. Like, I would tune into that before I tune into a WNBA game.
Yeah.
And just imagine, again, the spectacle that it is. So she plays, and she could play in the offseason. But the guy that I talk with basketball a lot was like, no, she would get destroyed. I'm like, no, she would just have to shoot threes. Like, put her on a dribble drive team. But that's his take. And I still think that the WNBA is trash. doesn't really have anything to do with men versus women. It's just not even good sports to watch.
Yeah.
Turnover after turnover after turnover and then miss layup. No, I'm out. I can watch that in Little League junior high basketball and not have to pay for it.
I've never watched a single game from start to finish.
Me neither.
So I can't say too much, but I've seen clips, and like when you see clips, you don't know if they're just showing you all the bad stuff or if it's all that way. But yeah, there's some crazy.
A professional team should average more than 60 points.
Yeah. Is that the average?
That's the average of the that's the median range of the teams.
Yeah.
Like if you were to watch an NBA game, I know NBA and WNBA, very, very different. Not trying to say they're the same. But if you were to watch a game where they scored 60 points in a game, you would not watch it.
Yeah.
Like college teams are scoring more than that.
Yeah. In 2 quarters.
Yeah. High school teams are scoring more than that. But yeah, that's kind of the sports talk. So we have a new segment that we're going to start for the next couple of weeks.
We wish we would have started.
We wish we would have started. Well, it would have been a little harder. Maybe starting with Reagan. Because it would have been harder.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find video
of George Washington.
George Washington.
Yeah. So we have decided that we are going to. I sent Clint this clip of George W. Bush, and it was like all of his gaffes. And like, imagine if we had social media back then, what it would have been like, like with Trump. So what we've decided to do is, since this is episode 43, we are going to listen to. The first one, which one are we going to play first?
I think the 9/11 is first.
Okay, so we're going to play the 9/11 speech first and just kind of, because that's probably his most famous speech.
Yes. So it's like the idea is a more serious speech and then a funny speech for our presidents until we get to 47,
Correct.
Which is just a few away. But
right.
This is episode 43, so President 43.
Which is George W. Bush.
W.
You all to know it can't go any louder.
Can you pause it? So for those that are just listening, this is the clip of him at 9/11, at Ground Zero, day 2 or 3. I don't remember which day it was. He's standing with a firefighter and he's speaking to all of those around him.
Yeah.
So we have some younger listeners that don't know, that probably weren't even born. So this is George W. Bush talking to him.
That America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens.
And like, I think the impressive, you can keep it going. I think the impressive thing about this is there is no teleprompter. There's no, he's smooth in his speaking voice. He's definitely speaking from the cuff.
The rest of the world hears you, and the people.
Here's the quote.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
I believe that's the first time the USA chant got started.
I think so too.
I think that's the first time it ever happened.
In
my life.
Okay, there you go.
Major events, like, because now that will kick off.
Yes.
Like when I forget what game it was, but Trump and Vance were at a football game. Gosh, where were they? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they were at a football game and they show him on the screen and everybody in the stand starts chanting that, right? So, but I think that was the first time that USA chant got its legs and started going.
So 2 things about that. First off, I can't remember if it's in his book or in the documentary that I watched about 9/11. I can't remember if it's the day after this. He goes, when he's actually in New York, and he goes and he throws the first pitch out. So he had his bulletproof vest on in this video. And you can kind of see he's got a big jacket on, and he goes to New York to throw the first pitch, and he's down underneath
Yankee Stadium.
At Yankee Stadium, and Jeter tells him, like, you can't bounce it or they'll boo you. Yeah. Well, he talks about how he couldn't throw with his vest on. And there was I don't know if I can't remember if they ever actually came out and said if he didn't have it on or if he did. But he stands from the back of the right on the rubber and throws a strike. And he said that he tells a story later that he struggled getting the ball there with the bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. I would have to go back and look again. I guess I should have looked, but if they allowed him to go out there without a bulletproof vest on, I can't imagine they would have.
I don't know. At that time, probably not.
So
which is great that he got it there still.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long ways.
I mean, he is a baseball guy.
He is. But okay, so now we're not going to play the whole clip. I'll post it on our YouTube. It's actually I'll just share it or something.
I thought it was funny how you were talking. I'll just play the clip. I got a comment though.
If you're a single mother with 2 children, which is the toughest job in America as far as I'm concerned, and you're working hard to put food on your family, those who think that they can say, we're only going to have a stimulus package, but let's forget tax relief, underestimate. Just making sure you were paying attention. You were. I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully. Responses have got to end in order for us to get the framework, the groundwork to discuss a framework for peace, to lay the... All right. We are not at war with Muslims.
Like this, and this one right here. I just don't, like, what is he talking about?
We want to be friends with Muslims and Muslim children. We fighting evil people. It's important for the boys and girls who are good Marshall to know.
One of my favorites is coming up.
With good. And one way to fight evil with good is you can help by writing letters to boys and girls your age.
What in the crap is he talking about?
And so, in my State of the Union, or my speech to the nation, whatever you want to call it, speech to the nation.
It's classic W right there.
I asked Americans to give 4,000 hours over the next
because he just keeps messing it up the whole time
of service to America. That's what I asked. I said 4,000 hours. There's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on."
He just lost it. He's gone.
Yeah.
Shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we. Parents are teaching their children right from wrong, and the message oftentimes gets undermined by the popular culture.
Popular culture.
You bet there's things the government can do. We can work with the entertainment industry to provide family hour. We can have filters on internets where public money is spent. I hear there's rumors on the internets that we're going to have a draft. We're not going to have a draft, period. We got an issue in America. Too many good docs are getting out of business.
Yes, this one too.
Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country. The good news is...
All right, that's some good George ones.
So that's Bushism.
Classic W.
It would have been so great if we had had social media back then. Because you would have gotten even more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I spent probably like 20 minutes just searching, trying to find a good one that was a little...
Even now, at Trump's last inauguration, he became a meme.
Yeah.
You know, he was just staring at the camera and gave him a wink,
yeah,
you know?
Gave him a little wink.
That's a good W.
Or like whenever Michelle Obama slipped him some gum. I think that was at the Pope. Was that the Pope's funeral?
Something like that.
Something like that, where they were all together and he's like, yeah, I got me some gum.
I don't know what to think about all that.
I don't either.
I liked him as a president.
I did too. And for those that listen that are conspiracy theorists and stuff like that with 9/11 and all that mess, because I know that's going to be the first text message I get.
Oh, yeah.
I don't buy into any of that. I mean, evil people do evil things.
Right.
I can't explain it. I don't always know, but that's all I got to say about that.
It's like if you want to be a good conspiracy theorist, you got to save it for. And 9/11 was a big thing, but like you hear it these days on every single thing that happens. Well, who was on that plane?
Yeah,
just a bunch of people. Like planes just crashed. That does actually happen.
Well, and you're hearing a lot of it right now with Charlie Kirk.
Yes,
and like all the different conspiracy theorists, and I don't know. Like all I know, and this is something that I'm hanging my hat on for right now, because it's like I can't really explain everything that every single person that has a lot of hours in their life to do, like investigative reporting. I don't have time for that. What I do know is like evil does evil things.
Yeah.
And therefore I can't explain sometimes what that looks like and where that goes and how you're going to explain every single thing. I just can't. I just don't know.
Yeah. The thing about it is when I got some friends and family who are into it real big, and you ask them, all right, so say you're right.
Those are my favorite text messages to the group, by the way.
So say you're right. What does that mean for all of us? They don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's fine if it's just something fun to talk about, but like I don't know either, but I'm not basing my life choices off of it.
I could literally find a conspiracy theory about everything.
You can, and some people do.
You just got a lot of time on your hands, I guess.
You do. You got a lot of time on your hands.
But
that was fun though.
That was fun. We'll have to find. So the next one will be Obama.
I know the serious one we should do for Obama. We'll talk about it, but and there's some good funny ones on Obama too.
Yeah, I'll.
He's a very good orator, very good
polar opposite, by the way.
Yes. So it's the gaffes are not as many, but there are some. It's kind of fun.
Well, and you're talking about going from a person who was using Southern charm,
yes,
and had was well connected,
yeah,
to a person who is very well spoken,
right.
Literally, Bush didn't even know what the internet was probably when he's saying out on the internets.
Right. And, keep in mind what year that was too.
Yeah.
What
would that have been? That would have
20
been
years ago.
That would have been 2000. That would have been 99, right?
Inaugurated 2001.
Okay.
When he was inaugurated.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, because the attacks happened in the same, because he was voted in on education.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy. This is not on the run sheet, but I want to talk about it just a real quick. Actually, it is. There's two things happening in education right now. First off, this happened last week. Oklahoma State's superintendent. So they have the state superintendent. He's kind of like our Department of Education in the state of Texas.
Okay.
They have a state superintendent. He got a new job, and he's going to work for a very conservative platform that's going to fight against teacher unions.
Okay.
And so I found that kind of interesting, because like you went from being a public servant to now you're going into the lobbyist position, which is not uncommon in the business world. Right. But I just found that very interesting that you took a job that is polar opposite what you've just spent the last period of your life to do.
I don't know that
fight
job's polar
against
opposite, because I feel like the state education superintendent in Oklahoma probably has fought against teacher unions. As far as I know, Oklahoma teachers aren't unionized.
Well, yeah, they're not.
And so, but I'm assuming that there's probably been some teacher groups in Oklahoma that have wanted to unionize, and he's been fighting that already.
That could be possible. But I found that so interesting, because he had been fighting so hard against everything they had done and had no growth in their education system. No growth.
Hmm.
And, they're one of the lowest paid, per capita and all this stuff. And then also with the signing of the new law for the STAAR test, it did pass. Basically, they're going to do away with one big STAAR test, and they're going to do 3 basically checkpoint style tests. They're going to do one at the beginning of the year, one in the middle, and then one at the end.
Yep.
So I've heard two basic sides of this. Both of the sides obviously don't talk to actual teachers. And I don't know. I haven't talked to a ton of people about it, because most of the time education is in the year, especially like when we're in the year right now, most people are focused on trying to get through this year. So this will not start until it's been kind of debated, either 26, 27 or 27, 28. It kind of depends on what ends up happening. But I'm for it. Like, I think that's what we should have been doing anyways.
Right.
Because then you're measuring growth of the same student from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Right.
So like you'll find growth measures that's going to be way better than that. So like in the social studies, world. Okay. Now this is all changing. We won't have to talk about that. We can talk about that off air if you want, or we can talk about it later when it actually gets signed in June. They're changing the standards in the state of Texas. It's not the standards, but how things in the order that they're going to be taught. And so, like, for example, I teach U.S. history, the second portion. So we teach from Reconstruction to modern.
Yep.
Well, the first portion is taught in 8th grade.
Right.
Well, I teach juniors. So you get taken 8th grade, then you go 9th grade, 10th grade, then you go to the second portion of U.S. history.
Right.
Well, there's no, like, that's a 2-year gap
Yep.
of knowledge that they may, and if they didn't have a great teacher, the knowledge gap is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they're super interested in history, then they have a general understanding of
Right.
it, you know? And so now we'll be able to measure from Johnny takes a test at the beginning of the year, we check him in the middle of the year, and then we check him at the end of the year.
Yep.
And then now you have a very good picture of what that student is.
Right.
Not 8th grade, and then you wait 3 years, which a lot can change in 3 years in a kid. And then now you're testing completely different content. And it just, to me, this is a better way of measuring growth of students.
I think it covers like what both sides of the testing argument want. So you have your people on one side that they call it accountability. We want accountability. We want to make sure teachers are teaching. And so the only way to do that is to give a test. Like there's some people out there who say we should get rid of all tests. Well, that's not going to happen. People are going to want some type of test for some type of accountability. So, okay, where the test is staying, but instead of just making it on one day of the year, which to be honest is like everything builds up to that year. That first half of U.S. history test is pretty early in the testing year in the spring. My wife teaches that subject. And then it's like build up on one day. And so much rides on that one day. Whereas now, like, let's do one at the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end. Test the growth between those tests, like you're saying, of the same student. But it also gives those students multiple opportunities to attack that material.
Right.
Because, I don't have to tell you, but anybody who's not savvy on this that's listening, is there's just flat out questions on the test that weren't covered.
Yep.
Like there's just either not time or it wasn't in the parts to be covered. And like when they get the test in the summer, they'll go back through it and go back over it. And that's one of the things I always hear from my wife is like, this wasn't even in the curriculum.
Right.
Like no wonder like it's got an 80% miss rate or whatever.
Right.
So I think maybe with 3 tests, they'll get to buckle that down a little bit.
They always throw like some random person in there. It happens every year.
Yeah.
Every year that I taught 8th grade. One year was George Mason, which is part of that founding father group, but he was never tested for like 15 years before.
Yeah.
And then they put 2 questions on there, which I suppose you should have taught him, but he was not, his name was never listed in the TEKS.
It's just so much to get covered in such a little amount of time.
Well, I was doing like a deep dive on my data that I just got and for my world history subject, and the TEKS cover this is a very niche conversation, but it's okay. So the one TEK covers Rome, Athens, Sparta, all of Persia, and then the Mauryan Gupta Empire. And would you like to guess how many questions there are on the exam? 1. So we're asked to cover 5,000 years. And so like they could ask a question about Athens, Greece. They could ask a question about Sparta. They could ask anything about the Roman Republic, or they could go all the way over to Persia, or they could go over to the Mauryan Gupta Empire.
Yeah.
And it's like, how am I supposed to know?
This reminds me of the way one of our CPA tests is put together every time we talk about this, because there's 4 CPA exams you have to pass to be a CPA and other stuff. The one that 95% of everyone agrees is the hardest is called FAR, F-A-R, Financial and Reporting. And we describe this test as being a mile wide and an inch deep.
That's exactly what. That's exactly
And it
right.
is by far the hardest test if you take the 4 CPA exams that you will take compared to the other 3. But that's why, because it is a mile wide and an inch deep. And when I hear my wife describe what she has to teach based on the test that's given, I'm like, that is a really difficult way to actually learn. And like, I can tell you this, like, that is the area where I retain the least because I studied for the test and I just like crammed knowledge into my brain to where I was literally looking over my spiral and like I'd made a 1-page front and back cheat sheet of notes sitting in my car in the parking garage of the testing center about to walk in, like getting my brain going ready. So much so that I sat down to take the test and they give you scratch paper and I started writing down formulas and things so they would be there when I would need them later in this 4-hour test. And then it's gone. I remember the general concepts. But then it's gone. I think it's a really hard way and really a horrible way to try to teach so these kids will actually retain that knowledge as something that's meaningful for them. But if they can learn a set of content and take an exam on it and then move on and learn a set of content and take an exam on it, I think that's a better way. I don't expect it to be perfect at all. I expect it to be a improvement, and it remains to be seen the degree of improvement that it will be. But I think it's a good thing overall.
In my opinion, too, like for those that don't know, like your measure of pass rate for 8th grade was in the 50s, right? So if you make a 50 basically on the exam, they consider you to be passing. And it's like a 65.
Is that approaching or meets? Or?
Yeah. No. That's like, I don't remember the exact. They change it every year. And so, but for high school, it's in the 30s.
Oh, wow.
So like of a 70 question test, if you can get a handful correct, you're going to pass the exam.
Yeah.
And then you get the whole conversation of like the 8th grade versus high school data poll. And it's like, well, why are the 8th grade teachers not as good as the high school teachers? Well, their measure is different.
Yeah.
Like you can't, they're not apples and apples. So that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out and how it goes going forward. So do you want to tackle some old news first?
Let's do it.
So this past week, I think it was Monday, Hegseth ordered hundreds of commanders to Virginia. A couple of good memes came out of it. The first meme is Trump walking out and it was just dead silent. And he was like, well...
and he commented on it.
He did comment on it.
Which I'm like, I wish he wouldn't have.
I wish he wouldn't have either. I think I texted you.
I think it was Tuesday.
Is Tuesday? But like...
here nor there.
I can't help but wonder if like that was one of those things that he would have said in his head that just came out of his mouth. But I wouldn't expect that group to be loud and rowdy either.
Like it didn't, like I was listening to clips from it. I didn't actually watch it, but I think if I'm watching it and I see Trump come out and they're not hooting and hollering like you see him at like an actual base, like a military base, like you would see, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised by that. You've got 40 and 50-year-olds out there, career military people with bald heads and gray hair for a lot of them, if you look at the picture, right?
Yes.
Older people, not 20-year-olds. Like when he's sitting in the airplane hangar and his 20-year-olds, I expect that. It's like different. But then he has to say something about it. So then the story is like, oh, the generals are quiet whenever Trump enters the room. They don't cheer for him. And then it becomes a story. Like you just made it a story. But he has very little, if any, filter. And that's what was in his head. So that's what he said.
Trump doing Trump things.
Trump doing Trump things.
I just thought that was hilarious that he did comment on it. But then like somebody posted I posted this on our Facebook, and he was talking about the dress code standards and all that stuff, and it's like a view from the back, and every single person in the front is bald. And they're like, and this is the people writing our standards. And I'm like, I feel kind of attacked here. Both of us are bald. And it's like, I'm in the same age bracket as these fellas here, you know? So, but then yesterday and then today is the 250th anniversary of the Navy. I'm going to get some armed forces was today and yesterday. So Hegseth went to the game and he's doing push-ups with all the guys. Well, then he goes in and gives a speech. It was Navy Air Force. He gives a speech. And again, I posted this on our socials. And it was
there would have to be Navy then.
It would have been Navy. And he's giving a speech about, and he's just getting them all. It's a post-game speech. So like he's getting them all riled up and they are just hooping and hollering and, he's talking about how the president has their back and, the vice president has your back and it's like a totally different atmosphere, which is what you would expect. If he had walked into that room and it had been silence, that's a story.
Yes.
Him walking into a room with 3 to 5-star generals and admirals and all these other career who've been in the military for some of them probably close to 50 years. Like I would be willing to bet that there's some guys that got in at 18 and they're 65, 66, 67 years old. I mean, think about that. You could go in at 18 And if you're
You gotta
68
get out
years
by
old,
then, though, right?
you don't have to. I mean, if you keep promoting,
It's true.
you can keep going. I mean, I don't know. 50 maybe a lot, but 40 for sure.
Yeah.
And I would expect if they had hooped and hollered, I would have thought that's fake.
Well, and one of the things that he and Hegseth talked about is like, hey, if you haven't heard already, just in case, DEI is dead when it comes to the military. But you think like there are some people sitting in that room,
yes,
who are a part of that and promote it. And so like I expect it, of course, for age and the rank and the tenure to be silent, but also like some people aren't real happy about that, and that's okay.
Get out.
Now, that means somebody can write a story. He did tell him, he's like, you like what I say? You can get up and leave and take your rank with you.
Yeah.
I was like, come
well,
on,
and
man.
like that was probably a little bit much.
It was,
but
yeah.
again, Trump doing Trump things and Hegseth following suit.
That's true. A couple things. I like Hegseth being more of a soldier than a suit.
Agreed.
I like this. Like the Secretary of Defense needs to be both.
Hold on. You're calling him by the wrong name.
Oh my gosh, I did it, didn't I? Secretary of War or War Department. What is it?
Well, I guess he would be the Secretary of War.
Secretary of War. Okay.
Of the War Department.
Yeah.
Got to get
Well,
right.
no, because they call it Department of War. It's supposed to be the War Department. That's what it was back in the day.
That's right. That's right.
But then they named it the Department of War.
So what is his official title?
It's got to be.
I'll look it up.
Secretary of War. It's got to be. Do you think a Democrat president changes that back?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to think about the things that a Democrat president...
Secretary of War.
Yeah. I've been trying to think about the things that a Democrat president would change back that Trump has changed. Like, do they change back Gulf of America? That's kind of gone away. Do they rename back the military bases?
I don't think so.
Do they rename some of the ships that have been renamed? Like, I don't think they do that.
Hold on. Do you want to finish your thought? I don't feel like I cut you off.
Sorry, I went a little ADD there, didn't I?
I want to go. I do want to talk about that, but I want you to finish your thought first.
I like that the Secretary of War is a soldier more so than a suit. Because that was one of the biggest things in his confirmation hearings is, this is a major corporation basically, and you don't have any experience running that. I think you got people for that,
And it goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning of this, whenever Trump got elected, is he put people in a position to succeed.
Trump talked about at this meeting how they're ahead of schedule and have already met their recruitment goals before the end of the year. They've never done that before or in recent memory. So I think that has something to do with your Secretary of War being more of a soldier than a suit. That's my unqualified opinion.
And I posted something about that on TikTok, I believe. I believe it was like a forward, and like multiple people came in and just bashed that statement. Because we had said that before. Yeah. And I posted it, and I was like...
Bashed it because I think he is a suit?
Bashed the military recruitment numbers.
Oh.
And they're like, no, you haven't been. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Trump's just saying
But
it.
I think you would see. Hold on, I'm trying to pull the data right now. But I think you would see a significant decrease. Yeah, it doesn't say. Not in this quick search that I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oops. I don't know either. Ooh, oh gosh, I suck at spelling so bad. And thank God ChatGPT knows it. Yeah. ChatGPT knows because I've used the same one. I've used the same one. It says it's on pace. Is what that's just what ChatGPT says. That's the Department of Defense, or the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Army, and the White House. Those are the sources that it sources.
Okay.
So, anyways, I what was the other point that you had?
That's it.
My ADD.
Yeah.
My ADD also got me. And it'll be interesting to see how, with what's going on in Portland, what's going on in Chicago, if those numbers are drop down or if they go up, if they change. Does that make sense?
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Okay. Also, a little bit of an older news is the Presidential Walk of Fame has changed.
Now, isn't this a new thing? I think Trump added it.
Trump did add it. I thought it was inside of the White House, but now apparently it's in it's
on one of the colonnades.
It's on one of the colonnades, yeah. And all of the presidents are there, and including himself, which is more of his mugshot than a good photo of him, which I kind of thought was odd.
I think he does that on purpose.
I think he does too. He just needs to, but
I think he does everything on purpose. I should just clarify, but
I think he should just have a picture of himself smiling, but he doesn't do that. And he replaced Biden with the auto pen.
Yes.
That's such a troll move.
It is. Like, I've gone so back and forth on that. I'm like, oh, that's petty. That's troll. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, well, the White House is his place. That's the executive.
It's executive office.
Yeah, it's not like he's
do whatever he wants. He's also got gold everywhere. Have you seen that?
Yes.
It's over the top. And I mean, I would expect nothing else,
No.
if I'm being quite honest.
No, and I don't care.
I don't either. And I don't understand why it bothers people so much. Because I want to get this straight too. Like, every president changes the Oval Office. Every president in modern history has changed the look of the Oval Office, the pictures that are in the Oval Office, everything. And so it's just like, okay, well, Trump likes gold, so he's going to put gold everywhere.
Before we, along those same lines, before we get to anything like shutdown or anything, I forgot to show you this Bill Maher clip.
Okay, so Clint texted me earlier this week and was like, don't look at any Bill Maher clips. I was like, I thought to myself, I didn't text this. I was like, okay, I got you. But
I was fine if you just saw it in like the wild, but I was like, don't look at it on the run sheet because I didn't want you.
Okay, well, I like Bill Maher. So I was kind of hard. I was like,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I didn't mean
No. I'm so what he asked is he wanted a live reaction to this. So I have not watched any Bill Maher in 2 weeks. So here we go.
That's rough. So when we talked last, I said I might get the 107 Days Kamala Harris book and read it just because it seems like there's some gold in there.
Yes.
But I don't have to now because Bill Maher has given us the rundown of the book. And he's got a couple of people on the show with him. This Van Jones, CNN. He worked in the Obama administration, but he's on CNN now. And then there's some other guy. I don't know who it is. But this is Bill Maher on Kamala Harris's book, 107 Days.
Kamala Harris's new memoir of the 24 election is called 107 Days, but it should have been called Everyone Sucks But Me.
The Van Jones clapping.
Yeah.
107 Days is a victim's title because, get it, she only had 107 days to win. Yeah, and $1.5 billion.
Oh, man.
And a
That's the truth.
built-in army of about 75 million people who'd vote for any human-adjacent life form that wasn't Trump. But
Facts.
in 107 days, nothing is ever Kamala's fault. Biden lets her down by not stepping down sooner. Pouty face emoji. Gavin Newsom, he was asked for his endorsement, but texted, hiking, we'll call back. But then never did. And then he didn't even ask her to prom. America itself lets Kamala down by not being ready for the running mate she really wanted, Pete Buttigieg. So she's stuck with the Home Depot paint salesman.
Golly.
It's so accurate.
So true.
Poor Kamala. We made her the star of a rom-com and didn't even give her a gay best friend.
Oh, no. The two guys on there are trying not to laugh as hard as they want to.
Kamala writes that on election night, when it was clear she lost, an aide peeled the words, Madam President, off the cupcakes before handing them out.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Jeez, that's like a scene from Bridget Jones Runs for President.
That's true. Oh, my goodness. I
See, now I still want to go read it because I want to know if Gavin Newsom really did text her back, hiking, we'll call later.
I mean, maybe.
He put it in quotes, like from the book. So Man.
I don't even know what to
Again,
say.
I don't agree with Bill Maher on a lot of things, but it is just nice. And Van Jones is laughing up a storm because he's been saying the same thing. I don't know who the other guy was. The other guy was trying to laugh through his teeth, but I like it's just refreshing because anytime you
it's
try
true.
to,
He did say that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh my
California
gosh.
Governor Gavin Newsom did indeed respond. Hiking will call back.
I never did.
When missed call from then Vice President Kamala Harris. Like, that's another thing. That's definitely he should have, and like, can you imagine? Okay, let's say Greg Abbott is the senator, or excuse me, is the governor of Texas, and JD Vance, who's running for president, calls Greg Abbott.
Not JD Vance, Ken Paxton, because it's our AG. She used to be the AG of California. So say Ken Paxton
But
goes
she was
on.
the vice president at the time, though.
Right,
I
but
guess
so
is my- kind of my
say
point.
Ken Paxton goes on to be JD Vance's vice president.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Abbott won't be there anymore because he'll be term limited. But
And can you imagine? Can you imagine if JD Vance calls? Let's just say it's Greg Abbott. He picks up the phone. Like, I can't imagine that there's many people that the governor can just send a voicemail,
yeah,
or that that he can't send a voicemail. The vice president and the president are two of those. You can't send those
the
guys.
vice
a voicemail.
president calls him. Sorry, I'm
Jeez.
hiking.
Sorry, I'm
Call you
hiking.
later.
Call you later.
But I'm not.
But he'd never called. I just that is. I saw somebody.
But here's the thing: like what I was trying to say is like it's good. It's just refreshing to see liberal Democrats like Bill Maher, like Van Jones, who are reacting in the same way that we're feeling about it. Because if I try to talk to any Democrat that I know about why Kamala didn't win, they're like, I'm either racist or chauvinist or both. Because I don't think that Kamala Harris would have been a good president, and she happens to also be biracial and a woman. Like, it has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all to do with it. And it's just refreshing to see Bill Maher saying that's got nothing to do with it. Van Jones saying that's got nothing to do with it. And it's a horrible candidate. That's why she lost. And she had a Home Depot paint salesman as a running mate, which now I'm never going to be able to not think that whenever I go to Home Depot. I'll be like, man, that does look like Tim Waltz back there putting that can in the shaker. This guy.
I saw a podcast that slowed the voice down by 30%. Did I send you that?
I think I sent that to you.
Oh, and she definitely sounded drunk the entire time she's reading it. Yes. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh
if you
my
haven't,
gosh.
We should post that.
I did.
Okay, we did.
I did.
Okay,
I reshared it.
Yeah. Look on our feeds because that is so funny.
It's so funny. But it's so true.
It is. Like everything that's funny has to have an element of truth to it. And she is known to drink the wine. So
well, and then now the last couple of things that she's been out on, like she was at a speaking engagement and they were like, she was holding on to the person like very tightly. Like you know that walk. And it's like, I've seen that walk before.
I've seen that walk.
And it's like, she's had a few too many. And I just think that, I won't read it. And maybe in a couple of years, whenever this is kind of all over and we kind of have a little bit more removed and we can kind of see what's going on, it'll be a little bit better. Maybe. Right. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just continue to be a complete disaster. Because it just seems like every time we turn around, there's just another thing that the Biden administration did that is illegal. And I don't know.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. Like, it's not a small number. But it seems like, so far the book has sold 350,000 copies.
Okay.
That seems low.
That seems very low.
For a vice president writing a memoir.
How many books did Decision Points? So. And I
mean, it has only been a couple weeks.
Okay.
But they are only projecting it to sell 500,000 total. So
by 2000, it sold, George W. Bush is released in November of 2010. And by 2011, it had sold 3 million copies.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, this is projected to go 500,000. Of course, she wasn't a president. But
Yeah, but still.
Barack Obama's first one was 1.7 million in its first week. So that's like as a comparison.
Right.
Okay. Michelle's was 1.4 million in its first week.
That's
Dadgum John Bolton, who's just like a UN ambassador, like in sold 780,000 in its first week. And then James Comey, the criminal crook who's under indictment, his A Higher Loyalty sold 600,000 in its first week.
to me, it just screams of everything that the campaign was as well.
Yeah.
You know, like when you lose $1 billion.
And now I don't want to buy it because I don't want to contribute to that. But I want to know what's in it. And that's the thing.
It's going to be an ongoing conversation.
Of the 350,000 you sold, how many are just buying it just to like
Do exactly what we're doing right
for
now?
the reason I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Not because like, oh my gosh, she wrote a book. Let's read it.
I wonder if that has like audiobooks as well. If that's like audiobook it sells as well. I don't know. I just think that it's a disaster all the way around and it's not going to change. It's just not going to. All right. Are we ready to hop into, no. I want you to talk a little bit about this, the two things that you put on. Oh, did you take that one off about Michael Vick?
Yes.
Okay. The Virginia.
It wasn't Michael Vick, but yes. There's some.
Not Michael Vick. Kaepernick. Yeah. Okay. I want to talk about the Virginia candidate that got their text messages leaked.
Yes. Because we've talked about leaked text messages on here before.
Yes.
Jay Jones running for AG in Virginia. Got some text messages leaked, and I think I have it up. I can show it. I think I put it on the screen. I did. So again, we had this conversation. I forget who we were even talking about before. We just said, listen, like you're all responsible for what you say when we talked about this before. And it was a Republican. So we're doing like a litmus test, like being consistent. But at the end of the day, like it sucks that you trusted someone, but still you said these things. You're still responsible for them. But the person he's talking to, which I forget who this is, says they say nice things about everyone. LOL. And Jay Jones says, if those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out a wash in something. Gross. And the person says, Jay Jones. Like when you get your full name is, you know?
Yeah.
And then he goes further and says, 3 people, 2 bullets, Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. It's Todd Gilbert. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. And this person is saying, like, it really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. Like, man. You know?
Man, when you put Hitler and Pol Pot in the same vein as someone else, that's kind of wild.
But this guy's like, I mean, he's obviously the guy he's writing about is Republican. He's a Virginia state delegate.
Republican state delegate Carrie Coyner. Carrie Coyner.
Okay.
That's who they were sent to. Yeah, I don't think you can. You just got to remember, like, everything that you put into your phone can be leaked at some point.
Right.
Regardless of what you say or who you trust that you're sending it to, you just can't say that anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going to happen to this guy. He's still running, so there hasn't been enough pressure for him to get out. But I've seen people from both sides of the aisle standing up and condemning it. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's probably the right move. All right, even though I despise talking about government shutdown, it's the biggest news topic of the week.
Yeah, it's both sides blame the other side in a shutdown, always. And usually whichever side you lean towards is who you're going to blame as well. If you're a Democrat, if you voted for Kamala Harris in her 107-day campaign, you're probably right now saying the Republicans shut down the government. If you voted for Trump or you're a Republican, you probably are saying that Chuck Schumer shut down the government, and that's the way it's going to be. These are the facts. The Republicans have just put forward a clean bill. It's just a extend what we already have going on bill. Nothing new, nothing less, just extend it. The Democrats want to add a couple things to it. So far, 3 Democrats have come across, not really 3 Democrats, 2 official Democrats and an independent who votes with the Democrats, caucuses with the Democrats, have voted for it, but it needs 60. And Rand Paul is voting against it. So in a 53-47 Senate, they're only at 55 votes. So it's 55-45. They need 5 more to get this thing passed. The 2 things they want added, one is a little more simple. I'll say it first, is basically the Democrats want a guarantee from the Trump administration and the Republicans and Speaker Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune that they will not remove any spending that's already been approved. They will not refuse to fund it. So basically any pet projects they've gotten funded, they want, or approved for funding, they want to be funded. The second thing is that with the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, there are tax credits, premium credits anyway, that were built into that, meaning that if you could not afford the insurance premiums under Obamacare based on your income level, you could get credits towards that. That's always been there. For COVID, one of the big spenders in the COVID legislation was those credits were enhanced, meaning that more people qualified for relief, for lower premium payments. So under the premium, under the COVID regulations, and what the Democrats want is they want these COVID era type of enhancements, as they're called, to be made permanent. They do expire at the end of this year.
Right.
Which, here's the thing. You've recovered from COVID. If you're in hospitality, a restaurant, hotel, those things are hopping again. You've recovered. You have an opportunity to go get a job if you want a job.
Right. One
of the enhancements was you could still qualify for the premium credits if your income was at 400% of the federal poverty level, the FPL. So if your income was 4 times the federal poverty level, you still qualified for these premium credits on your insurance premium. A household of 4 people, the federal poverty level for a 4-person household, so you think 2 parents, 2 kids, is almost $33,000. So you've got 6-figure income in your home, and you're qualifying for Obamacare era premium tax credits.
Right.
It's still a 6-figure income, even if there's only 3 people in the home. So maybe a single parent and 2 kids. You're still at 400%, 4 times that amount, because it's like $28,000.
Right.
You're still making over $100,000 a year in your home, qualifying for these credits. And the Republicans are saying, no, like, we put these in place. They expired 2025. COVID's pretty much a thing of the past when it comes to affecting income and people's ability to go to work. So we want them ended. And that's the holdup. That's the sticking point. That's the major thing. Like the other part is kind of a big broad brush umbrella thing, but that's the main thing, is they want these COVID era Obamacare premium tax credits made permanent, meaning this is the way it'll always be. And the federal poverty level changes and goes up every year.
I just don't see how it's sustainable. Like, talking about the tax credits.
The cost for that one measure we just talked about, the Obamacare premium credits, is $380 billion.
A year?
No, over 10. Everything they do is over 10.
So that's $30 million a year. $30 billion a year.
Yeah. 38 billion, almost $40 billion a year.
I don't...
Like, we just can't.
You just can't sustain this amount of spending. And I don't know how, if this is how they're going to do it, I guess that's how they're going to do it.
And a household with $130,000 of income should not be getting free health insurance. Like, at that, you should be able to put some towards your health insurance premiums.
Yeah. I just think that it's just a wild time that we live in, because it's like, I just don't know how you're going to, first off, I want to talk about the spending first. Like, how are you going to sustain that? That's my first question. Yeah. Like, regardless of, like, I've seen so many videos of, whether it's Senator Kennedy talking or various other senators talking about the amount of spending that they're asking for. And, like, even though it might seem like a small amount, and we talked a little bit about this with Doge, of like how do you like even if they cut $300,000 from something, that is still a cut.
Yep.
And if it's something silly and insignificant, and I realize that everything is for a purpose, but like we can't keep doing that for a long period of time, whatever it is. And if you're talking about that, a person, I don't make $138,000 a year. So, and I have to pay for my insurance, and I sure as heck don't get any tax credit for it.
Right.
And so I was like, man, dang, maybe I need to look into that. You know, I'm being a bit tongue in cheek, but it's like, if a majority of the people who work pay for health insurance, and Lord, I mean, everything that I see right now online is the premiums are about to triple.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with this. I haven't quite made that connection yet. I don't know if you've viewed any of those videos, and some of it doesn't seem to be true. Some of it seems to be some fear mongering, but it's like, if your insurance goes from $500 a month to $2,500 a month, how are you going to be able to afford that? I mean, I pay a lot of money in health insurance, and our health insurance is not great. And so it's like, if it does actually triple,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think it's going to go up that much. I think that's fear mongering.
And so, but like, I'm just saying, like, it's
going to go up every year.
Yeah. And if there has to be at some point, and whatever that point is, if before Trump gets out of office, I think his goal is to have a balanced budget. I think that's the long-term goal. I don't know. He hasn't actually said that, but like, I think the long-term goal is to have a balanced budget. And this is one of the ways that you can do it. Now, it's my understanding that if they stay closed up through October 10th, they can start cutting from the executive branch.
Yeah.
Like the executive branch is the one who can start making cuts.
Which has not happened before.
And so
normally these people get to go home and not work and then get paid for it.
Right. And
Which
so
is, you know, they don't get the money right now. So that kind of sucks. Does suck. But then however long the shutdown is, when they come back, they get their back pay. And it's like, you got a vacation. That's like paid time off.
Right. And so I just wonder how this is all going to play out, because as of today, which is October the 5th, Sunday, October the 5th, there doesn't seem to be an end in sight.
No, I mean, they're at an impasse with this one issue. Republicans are like, nope. Republicans and 3 Democrats are saying, no, we're not going to extend these COVID era Obamacare tax credits. And Democrats are like, if you don't, we're not. But I think my crystal ball projection is Republicans will win this one. I think that the shutdown will actually hurt Chuck Schumer and the Democrats more than it hurts the Republicans. In this case, I think the Republicans have done a much better job this time around, because Trump holds the longest shutdown ever at his first term.
Right.
Bill Clinton has number 2. Like, it goes both ways. But I think this one, they've done a much better job of getting out there and just saying in plain language, this is what the issue is. This is what the holdup is. This doesn't make sense for us to continue doing. We've got to cut spending here, and letting people make their own decisions. I don't think we'll see those credits extended. You might see a compromise of, we're going to ramp it up and bring it down slowly over a couple of years, so you don't have premium shock for people who've been getting this credit. Okay, maybe. But I don't think it's going to last. I just don't think it's going to be a record breaker.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to get resolved with the Democrats on the bad side of it.
I tend to lean that way, but it's just like, it's like I said at the beginning, I don't really like talking about it, because like, okay, it doesn't really have a direct effect on me, other than like, there's some things that I need to take care of, like as far as like student loan stuff that I need to call. And then I call yesterday and I can't get anybody on the phone because there's nobody there. But like, I need to get that taken care of. You know what I mean? Like, I need to
stuff and mortgages and things like that really always are the.
And so it's like, as far as like the everyday Joe that is just working there 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, it has very little effect on. Now, the people who it does affect, like I've seen videos. I don't really know anybody, but I don't know that this would be a topic of conversation. But like, are food stamps down too? Like, does that fall in this category of like, our payments for that?
No, payments still go out.
Okay. Because I've seen lots of like, again, fear mongering of like people upset that their food stamps. So like, okay, genuinely, like, I'm concerned that maybe there are some kids that aren't going to get food, but that doesn't seem to be lining up with what I'm reading.
And again, we've talked about this before. We talked about RFK, but that's USDA, and it's also a lot of it through the state.
Okay.
So,
okay. And that may just be something that's my lack of knowledge of that conversation. So I just think that they'll figure it out. I have seen several other, like, the press secretary was asked, what about, senators and congressmen getting paid? Are they going to get paid during this? And apparently they still get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So you're there, but you're not doing anything. So why are you getting paid when these other people are not getting paid? So there's some chess being played with that stuff. And like I've seen Jeffries up there, and this kind of goes along with this, but like Trump put him out with a sombrero because it's something to do with illegals receiving health insurance, which is a fine tooth part of this whole
right.
bigger conversation. But like, if Hakeem Jeffries and whomever is running for public office or puts themselves out there publicly, if you can't take a meme, it's not going to end well as far as like just taking a joke. Yeah. Now, should the president of the United States be sending out memes? I don't think so. But I mean,
Trump gonna Trump.
Yeah, and then like,
did you see JD Vance talk about it?
I did.
Yeah.
I wonder.
And then did you see the one that went out with JD Vance in the sombrero?
Yes, and like JD Vance thought it was funny, and then like Gavin Newsom is tweeting out stuff about him as well, about JD Vance, and it's like he gets it.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the one where they're like the two little? It's definitely an AI, and I think it's Jeffries is one of them, and they're riding a trike, and it's like a horror movie, and then it turns the corner, it's like the twins, but it's both of them are like twin dolls, but it's like both of them are JD Vance, and it's like, okay, that's kind of funny, but it's like, again, you're a meme,
right?
You're a public figure, you're putting yourself out there, so you're going to be part of that scrutiny. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like, well, I can't really do anything about it.
I would be not shocked, but surprised if when we record next week, there's not some resolution to this.
Yeah. I'm in that same boat. I want to run anything else you want to add to that?
Mm-mm.
I want to run a couple of other minor things that have happened that were blips on the radar in the news. I want to run them by you. This is blind, so Clint does not know what I'm going to ask him. And so I kind of want to, I just kind of want to get your response. There's been a new push for book bans to become the new normal. And on that list is Stephen King. A lot of Stephen King's books are not going to be allowed in schools as they're going to be censored. Any thoughts on that?
I've never read one. I've seen a couple of his movies, but like, are they bad?
Don't know.
I know they're scary.
It's definitely scary. But
he's an odd duck.
He is an odd duck. Australia has embarked on a defense spending frenzy, ordering fleets of autonomous aircraft and submarines from the Japanese to the tune of $25 billion. This is the biggest military overhaul since World War II.
I like allies getting stronger.
I do too. The United States military carried out another strike on a boat in Venezuela coastline, killing 4.
Mm-hmm.
Secretary of War Hegseth said, "Did you watch the video? We played the video, the first one that happened. This one, they seem to use one of those scatter missiles. Have you seen that?
No.
So the ones that come and then just goes like spreads out like a shotgun shell. Oh. Yeah, they blew it up. I didn't really have any. What do you think about that?
Blowing up narco boats?
Yeah.
I don't have any issue with it. Everybody's like, they need due process. No, they don't. It's a military action.
Yeah, my only thought is
they're foreign nationals. Like, they're not citizens.
That's a valid point.
Citizens get the protections of the Constitution, not everyone. Right? I'm not a constitutional attorney.
Me either. Official quits after dispute over Trump's Eisenhower sword gift to King Charles. He gave a sword. What'd you say?
I said it sounds very niche.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, that sounds like an interesting thing.
Somebody gets real upset about a sword gift.
I guess that came.
That sounds like somebody looking for an excuse to quit.
That comes from the BBC News.
Who quit?
It was just an official Just some
Like
fit.
on our side?
No, from Britain.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of quitters.
That's
Ask Cornwallis.
This is why I like this segment.
Ask Cornwallis at Yorktown.
The director of the Dwight Eisenhower Presidential Library has stepped down. Okay, so it wasn't. It was from us.
Oh, our guy.
After a dispute with the Trump administration over gifting a sword in its collection to King Charles.
Oh, so Trump gave away something that was in.
Yes, in the Dwight Eisenhower.
Was it
Library.
Eisenhower's like sword, military sword or something?
Let's see here. Todd Arrington, the head of the library in Kansas, resigned on Monday after declining to remove the original sword from the library's collection to give to the king. So he quit, and they did it anyways.
I think that's probably Trump or like the White House.
Charles was instead gifted a replica during Trump's UK visit. So they didn't give it up. The library kept it.
Okay.
So he was given a replica. I bet that made Trump mad.
Yeah.
That would definitely be mad. Afghanistan is gradually getting back on the internet. After sweeping cuts to cell phone and internet services, affecting everything from banking to travel to aid work, they're back to 60% of the country has not health insurance. They probably don't have health insurance. Has the internet back in cell phone coverage.
They probably don't need health insurance over there. They probably just like go to the doctor and pay the doctor money.
Probably.
Like a simple transaction.
Yep. We got it complicated here with health insurance. The state of Florida has gifted President Trump prime Miami waterfront state real estate for his presidential library. Unlike former President Biden, who cannot find the money or the funds. Apparently, it's almost fully funded, by the way, his library. I kind of found that interesting. And this is kind of the last one that was, these are all little blips on the radar. EA Sports or EA Electronics,
Hey, back to
EA
that,
Arts. Go ahead.
We do predictions on the pod. We should write these down. I'm writing this one down.
Okay.
They announced that Biden's will be in Delaware.
Okay.
And instead of like Scranton or something like Pennsylvania. So that's a thing. But he was a senator from Delaware. It makes sense. Will he be alive to open it?
So will Biden be alive? So it's 2025 and construction has not started yet.
No.
No, he will not be alive.
Okay. And I don't know how long it's going to take to build it. Like if they're like, it's going to be 10 years from now, and be like, well, yeah, that's a stupid question to ask. Of course, it's not going to be. But I'm trying to think who.
Do you think Trump will be alive when his presidential library opens?
Trump's going to live forever, man. That guy, I don't know what. And I'm not just like trying to blow smoke on Trump, but that guy's got something else going on. I don't know what it is.
I'm looking at a picture of him right now from last week, and he doesn't look like he's aged a bit.
That dude beat COVID.
He beat COVID when it wasn't supposed to be beaten, by the way.
That's the thing. But I'm trying to think of any, well, I mean, of course, if any presidents who were assassinated did not get to open their own libraries, but I'm trying to think in recent memory if anybody didn't open their library.
I don't know.
Because they've all lived. I mean, we're up to, Bush or Clinton is their oldest
president. Yeah.
Yeah. That not like necessarily the oldest, but going back in term when he served. I've been to his. I did not go to Reagan's when we were in California, but that would have been a good one to go to.
Have you been to Obama's? It's in Chicago.
It's not open.
Oh, is it not open yet? Oh, that's right. We did. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Talked about that. There was some discrepancy in the construction. I forgot about that. EA Sports or EA Arts recorded a $55 billion buyout by the Saudis.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
A foreign wealth fund is going to buy it. So there's some in the community, the LGBTQ, I think I'm saying that right, community that are worried that because the Saudis are taking it, they're going to do away with all those characters in those games.
There's those characters in those games?
I mean, I'm sure there is. That's what they're saying.
I really don't play video games.
Me neither.
I never have. I never got into it.
I did.
The kids do have an Xbox. They play mostly sports.
Same. My son has gotten into some racing games like Mario Kart and things like that. And then kind of the last one of the day, popular Alaskan climber has fallen to his death in Yosemite National Park on El Capitan, marking the third death of the summer.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to climb.
You're not supposed to climb it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched the? I think it's called Free Climb. It's a National Geographic. It's on Disney Plus. fantastic. And this guy, he climbs it with no rope. And I just can't imagine like doing that. That's terrifying to me.
I pay somebody to put my Christmas lights on my house. That's how I feel about that. Because I pay him about what my ER deductible is.
Okay.
And that's just the ER deductible. That's before you get to surgery for what I broke.
I don't climb on top of our 2-story house. I don't do lights on the top of the house anymore.
This kid just climbs right up the back. Like he just walks all over the house, and we have a steep pitch.
Yeah. There's across the street. They have a 2-story house, and they were putting shingles on replace their roof. And I was watching those guys, and I thought to myself, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
My ankles would give out, and I'd fall.
Yeah.
I would just go right off.
Yeah.
Talking about falling from something, there was a person who had climbed Everest, okay, and was taking a selfie at the top of Mount Everest and slid off and died. So they climbed all the way to Everest, unhooked their
There's like an Alanis Morissette song around about that. You know?
No.
Isn't it ironic?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
They climbed all the way to Everest.
Climbed all the way to the top of Everest.
Took the selfie, and it was the last thing they ever did.
Yeah, they fell.
They should
rewrite. And like the video that I saw was a guy, and he's like, oh no, that's not good. And you just see the person sliding down. They just fall.
In a week and a half, I'll be in Vegas watching Alanis Morissette.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anything else that had happened this past week. Tyson Foods agrees to pay $85 million in settlement to settle a lawsuit by consumers who accuse the meat company of conspiring to. That's kind of stupid, to inflate pork's prices.
Well, I think we need to really talk about the food issue of the week, and that's that our State Fair corn dogs have wood in them.
Oh, I saw that. I actually retweeted that, by the way, reposted that, and I was like, wait a minute. Isn't the corn dog supposed to have a piece of wood in it?
I don't think that's the wood they're talking about.
I know, but I was like, I
didn't think about that though.
But doesn't a corn dog?
Yeah, just a stick. Yeah,
have a stick in it.
Yeah.
So I was like, why? I'm confused. I didn't even open the article, but I was like, I'm kind of confused at why this is a problem.
That's funny.
I didn't like. I think
they're talking about the batter and stuff.
Oh. Okay, I didn't go.
I think maybe the stick machine is too close to the batter machine.
Oh.
And the two got together, and now there's ground up sticks in the batter, and that's my guess.
Huh. I didn't think about that. I didn't go that deep into it. I was just thinking, man.
Because I'm trying to think of where the wood came from, but, that does make sense if the stick machine is too close to the batter machine.
Okay.
Or maybe it's too close to the hot dog machine.
I'm not going to say that because I was definitely thinking it, but I did not say it because
this is a family podcast.
This is a family podcast. Yeah, other than that, there's a couple of other blips on the radar, but nothing super duper exciting. They're going to have a new Jimmy Carter stamp.
Oh,
which I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Well, I did want to talk about this.
He voted for Biden.
He did. They rolled him in a wheelchair.
No, he's on a hospital bed.
Oh, yeah.
They rolled him out in a hospital bed.
And had an oxygen mask.
Those days.
So Walmart has announced that it will eliminate synthetic dyes from all of its private label branded food products by January 2027.
Okay.
As part of
So all the great value stuff.
All the great value stuff will be real food going forward. I just can't. I think did we talk about the autism stuff? Like,
here's the thing. Like,
stuff?
it took I don't say what you want. Like, if you didn't vote for Trump, whatever about RFK, but it took somebody in that level of office in the government to get all this to start happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good thing.
100%.
It is a good thing that this is happening. And like, it took someone in that office just to say it.
Yes.
Just to raise the issue and do their dang job as a Secretary of Health and Human Services.
It's like, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't put 40 chemicals in everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that's bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't talk about the whole Tylenol thing, did we? About Tylenol and Trump coming out and saying, did we talk about it? I know I mentioned it. Like,
the memes were great.
The memes were great.
The memes were like, Trump says air is good and you should breathe it. People are holding their breath. Well, although, I tried to dive deep because I saw a lot of the Tylenol said this back in the day.
Right.
And then I saw a lot like CNN reported this back in the day. But then I'm throwing those headlines into Chat GPT, trying to like bring them up to source them, make sure they're legit. And Chat's like, I don't think this is legit. So I don't know if it is or not. But I was like, I don't know. What are you going to take if you're pregnant and you have a headache?
Or you're running a fever.
Right.
I think the whole point is just like use caution. And I think sometimes that's, I mean, we've both had wives that have had children, and we've been around pregnant women at least 3 times for me.
I sound like W now.
That's true. That is true. Sometimes I do. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I do. But it's like, just use caution. Yeah. And I don't know. And now there's all this research coming out about the blood-brain barrier and these new different pills you can take to fix that enzyme that's going across the blood-brain barrier. I don't know.
Here's the thing. Like,
I don't know.
It's not that like autism is brand new, but the spike recently is something to look at and pay attention to. And it is being caused by something. You take a look at everything that's changed in the last 20, 30 years, and then the increase in autism, the increase in whatever else you want to say, like there's something that is causing this. And it's not a bad thing for us to look into it.
Right.
That's it.
And it doesn't mean that they're going to find a solution, but we should at least figure out what, or maybe let's try to find one.
At least ask the question.
Yeah. Anything big coming up for you this week?
I think I'm looking forward to just like a little bit of chill and some rest, because we've been remodeling and we're like basically done. The biggest chore was we repainted. Like we did some stuff in the garage here. Looks totally different than it did 5 weeks ago. But we also repainted our whole downstairs. That sounds like such a small undertaking until you go do it.
No, I would not think that's a small undertaking.
Well, because you think like, we've painted a lot before, and it's like, I'll go. I have a sprayer, but I'm not going to spray it. We rolled all the walls, but we also did our trim, and we changed the color of our trim. So when you roll all those walls, and then you're just down there on the ground, and it ain't carpet, everything's hardwood floors, and you're just edging in trim down the baseboard around the entire downstairs. Like, that gets to be some tedious work.
Yes.
And I'm glad we're done with it. And we painted our doors.
Like
that's an undertaking. All our doors are black now. So it looks cool. I like it. I like the look, and I like what we got accomplished. But we did that. We did some stuff in the backyard. We did stuff in the garage. The front yard is in process, so that's not done yet, but majority of that work is done. So I've got to maybe finish up some of that. I got a birthday this week, and then get the Halloween decorations up. I used to never decorate for Halloween. And then like a few years ago, I got the Buc-ee's Halloween. We talk a lot about Buc-ee's.
We do talk a lot about Buc-ee's.
I got the Buc-ee's Halloween thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, and my wife, my kids were like, oh my gosh, Dad decorated for Halloween. And all it is the Buc-ee's blow up in the front yard, and that's it. And then last year, I got this wild idea to build this tunnel over our sidewalk with spider webs and cobwebs.
I remember that.
LED lights and everything.
I remember that.
And so I got those because we've been remodeling. I haven't got my stuff out yet, but I got those out, and all the LED lights are still working. So I'm going to get that up this week. And
do you have an attic?
Yeah.
Oh, is it above the top part of your house, or
there is?
There's no drop down in here.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
It's a walk-in door on the second floor.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's nice.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go play golf tomorrow.
Oh.
Take my son to play golf.
Are you on fall break?
Yeah. Well, sort of-ish. We had Thursday, Friday, and then Monday off. So it's not really like an official fall break, but...
Fall break weekend.
Yeah, fall break weekend. So we're going to go... I think I'm going to... We've gone to the range a handful of times. We've gone to Top Golf a couple of times. So
okay.
The oldest daughter has something, and the middle daughter's out of town. So I was like, hey, let's go play golf tomorrow. And he's like, okay. So he practiced his swing all afternoon after we got back from fishing this morning.
Cool.
So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll see how it goes. We're only playing 9 holes.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah. I called the golf course, and I was like, I'm going to bring my son, but I don't want to be partnered with anybody because, now they do pairings. Like if it's just a single person. And he was like, I can give you this slot, but you'll have to play, just make sure that you don't slow the pace of play. Have you played before? I was like, yeah, I've been playing for about, 20 plus years. And he was like, okay, well, if you kind of know what you're doing, that's fine. Just make sure you don't slow the pace of play. And I was like, all right, we got that. So I told him, we talked about the rules and like.
I can't imagine a random Monday in October being a really big.
No, well, I mean, I couldn't get a tee time until almost 9:30. Really? I wanted to go early.
So them old people, man.
Yeah. Well, and it's going to be, it's cool in the morning. So
that's true. That's true.
And it's a community golf course. So I can imagine a lot of those guys live in that same community. Yeah. And so, but I was telling him, I was like, hey, when we get out there, this is not free for all running around.
Yeah.
You have to listen. So the wife's going to go caddy for us, and
you have to behave a certain way in public.
Right.
Crazy.
Imagine that, and like when you're going out in a public place, you have to listen. Imagine how that works. So, but we'll see. I'm excited because I kind of hope he really likes going to the range and he really likes going to the Top Golf. So I'm hoping that, since it's not 150,000 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And it's only 9 holes that he'll be able to maintain. So,
yep.
All right, have a good week.
You too.